So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD, and today is a pretty exciting day in the world of Black Ops 4 as we got a big update which just added in a few cool Easter eggs into the game. These are all real, by the way. These are not made up or anything like that, and this is the first time we've ever seen Treyarch add new seasonal Easter eggs into zombies maps past them launching, which is very, very cool that we now know they can do this, and they've done it so well. So I'm going to jump into that first, and then afterwards talk about how Mob of the Dead has been teased to come into Black Ops 4. So in the classic Chaos story map, so that's 9, Voyage, and I think this also works on Dead of the Night, there is a special new Easter egg to discover at the end of the rainbow. So I went ahead and completed this on the map 9, but you just play any Chaos map like you normally would, and then about round 15 onwards, it's random, but any point after round 15, when you're killing zombies, you're going to start to notice a small green orb flying around, which will go into a specific zombie, turning its eyes green. Once you've killed the green-eyed zombie, the orb is going to float out of it and float into another zombie, which will turn its eyes green. And you need to repeat this until eventually the green orb is no longer going to be flying into more zombies, but it's going to just disappear into the sky altogether. For me, this took about 3 or 4 rounds to successfully do, and if you lose where the green orb has disappeared to, you have to go to the next round before it's going to respawn, and you're going to need to follow it around the map. And it was really hectic for me to do this because I had tons of boss zombies, but eventually, once you've killed enough zombies that have turned into green-eyed zombies, the mystery box light is going to change from the normal color to a rainbow color. And once that's happened, simply hit the mystery box, and on your first hit, you're going to get a very special St. Patrick's Day themed homunculus.
Top of the morning to you, laddie!
Now, when I first picked this up out of the box in the game, I was actually cracking up with laughter because this is so funny. And as you can see, cosmetic-wise, it has the St. Patrick's Day hat on and all of the gear, so it's a pretty funky-looking homunculus. Now, you will need to repeat this every game if you want to do this Easter egg. It's a guaranteed homunculus, so it's a pretty cool Easter egg. It's something that you can do without even really thinking about it. But I think if you've already gotten the homunculus out the mystery box before round 15, you won't be able to do this Easter egg because you've already got homunculuses. But I'm pretty sure that is solo only. But that's it. Just a very quick, simple, easy Easter egg, but something new to the Chaos story maps that weren't originally there. And I think this is super cool. The fact that Treyarch can do this just shows that we might have some more surprises in the future with new content added into previous existing maps. That's really cool. I know Sledgehammer done it last year, and I'm glad that Treyarch has followed suit. But let's jump on to Mob of the Dead in Black Ops 4. What the hell is going on here? Well, a week or so before Operation Grand Heist started, I put out a video saying that Treyarch teased Buried coming to Black Ops 4, and what do you know? We saw Buried, and that was because we had some Buried teasers in the Blackout map. Well, as of today, Blackout's map now takes on an entirely new look for spring, including updated lighting, new and improved greenery, and springtime trees in full bloom. Honestly, the game looks so good. Like, honestly, Blackout has never looked so detailed before, and this is on console. I'm sure on PC it will look even better. But with this update brought a big teaser for something to come later in Black Ops 4, and that is the Mob of the Dead plane is hanging out in the ocean in Blackout. It's straight out of Mob of the Dead. It looks super nice. You can tell that it is updated a little bit because there is a lot more detail on this plane than we originally saw in Mob of the Dead. Now, what does this mean? Obviously, it's Treyarch's way of teasing that Mob of the Dead is coming to Black Ops 4. But just like with the Buried teasers, it's not quite what you think is coming, but Mob of the Dead is going to have its own portion in Blackout. We saw this in the Operation Grand Heist trailer right at the end, where we saw loads of people parachuting into Alcatraz prison itself. But this plane not only confirms that Mob of the Dead is coming to Blackout, if there was any doubt from that teaser trailer anyway, but this confirms that it's not just Alcatraz prison, it is Mob of the Dead specifically, with all the themes of Mob of the Dead included, such as the Mob of the Dead plane. Now, straight away looking at the Blackout map, it is extremely bright, and the sun is actually setting in this particular portion of time in Blackout. The roadmap for content teased a new event coming soon to Blackout, and what I think is actually going to happen is the map is going to get yet another update, but this time the sun is going to have set and it's going to be dark and nighttime in Blackout, meaning we will have Alcatraz ready for us to all jump into. And I mean, we've seen it with Buried Remastered. There's gonna be some cool new Easter eggs in Alcatraz, I'm sure. But also, the fact that it's out in the middle of the ocean means it's going to be exactly like its real life counterpart. It's on a little island, so this is going to be Alcatraz Island. And I bet if they want to keep it true to the real Alcatraz, we're going to have boats or other vehicles to escape Alcatraz Island, just like the real prisoners on Alcatraz did so many years ago. So let me know if you're excited for this in the comment section down below. Mob of the Dead remastered in Black Ops 4. It's not quite the remaster we'd want, just like with Buried, but the fact that they've remastered the Mob of the Dead plane is very interesting. And if they were to remaster Mob of the Dead for zombies, then at least the plane is already done. I mean, Blood of the Dead is pretty much mostly Mob of the Dead anyway, so it's all pretty much done. That's just more what I really want inside, more than any actual speculation or evidence that we can actually look at. Now, today's update has also added a few new things into zombies, which for the general quality of life is a really big deal. We've got the new Gauntlet, Hellcatraz, for Blood of the Dead, which is, in my opinion, the Gauntlet that I was always going to care about the most because it's the map that I enjoy the most out of Black Ops 4. And in terms of a Gauntlet, I feel like that would be the one for the most creative and cool stuff on that map. So if you enjoy Gauntlets and you're wanting to jump into a new one, then Hellcatraz is the one for you. It's pretty difficult, I'm just going to tell you now. But one of the bigger things which they added, if a Gauntlet wasn't big enough, is host migration is now finally in public matches. So if you're in a public match and the host leaves, now the game will continue automatically with a new host if the current host drops out mid-game. Fantastic, fantastic addition to the game, which is going to make public matches a lot more enjoyable, because if the host leaves before, the game would just end, but now it's going to keep going until there's only one person left. Treyarch also went ahead and sort of confirmed that we are seeing Ancient Evil this month. They said they're preparing for the launch of the next Zombies experience later this month. So March 26th, I think it's looking very likely. And also for those of you out there who are having issues being Prestige Master, they are fixing several key issues for Prestige Master players, including XP inconsistencies and issues with properly displaying Prestige icons. So if you have like a load of minus XP, that's going to be sorted pretty soon. And of course, the update has delivered several crash fixes throughout the mode, as well as gameplay improvements across all Zombies maps. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there is just a lot in general, but they addressed a bunch of issues with Prestige Master itself, as well as a few Gauntlet issues. And even I didn't know this, but the perk up elixir actually had some issues where you could only receive 2 perks from it after failing a round in any Gauntlet match by not completing the objective. Weird stuff, but Treyarch said there's plenty more to come during Operation Grand Heist, including the Ancient Evil Zombies map, an entirely new Blackout experience, which we assume to be about Alcatraz, Bare Bones and Infected Modes multiplayer, and so much more. Get out there and let them know what you think in the comments. Now, a leprechaun homunculus in Zombies is not the only homunculus Easter egg Treyarch added today, as in Blackout, in specific areas, and for me, this was in Asylum, I found a dancing homunculus by the fountain. I shot it, and it dropped a gold gun, and a trauma kit, and some other things, which is really cool. So if you spot any, definitely shoot them because they're going to drop you some great stuff. And on top of that, you can also find golden pots around the Blackout map, which contain some good loot as well as about 30 paint cans. So it's definitely worth opening them if you find them. But that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know your thoughts on all of the updates Treyarch made to the game today. If you enjoyed this and any parts of it made you excited, let me know in the comments, and feel free to use the thumbs up button as a gauge to let me know how excited you are by everything we spoke about today. Keep yourself updated by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, hitting that notification bell so you'll be the first people to watch my videos when they go live. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.